The Bunker Project is brought to you by Wix.com, the easiest place to create a website online.
All right. Or in a circle.
For free.
Oh, okay.
The Bunker Project podcast, episode number 126.
Unbelievable.
We're talking Netflix, social TV, BlackBerry 10,
And
the new MySpace screws up again, blog talk, radio redesign, and more on the podcast patent.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. I think I'll listen.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tell me more.
At least
Tell
we got
me
one
more.
listener. I think Norm's listening too.
Hey, Norm. Yo,
Hey,
big shout out to
Norm.
Normie.
Everybody say, hi, Norm. Hey, yeah.
Norm.
Yeah,
He can be like the Norm Maven instead of the Shiny.
Yeah. No, I would just make him the normal Maven.
Norm, can I call you and leave feedback for how awesome your feedback is?
Oh,
Have a
yeah.
feedback line?
Maybe we should call this Cheers, where everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
That's right.
And each episode we'll just yell out, Norm!
Norm. Oh.
Okay, so this
All
episode,
right.
we're actually going to do the roundtable introductions at the beginning of the show.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
what an idea.
Oh, all right.
How novel.
So we'll
Are we
start
gonna
with
extend it or short?
Randall, and we're going to do short,
Medium.
but
Short.
quick, but not super quick.
Pithy.
So you
We're
can say
looking for
you can
pithy.
introduce
I
yourself,
didn't know if I can do pithy.
give your Twitter name. If you have a podcast or web show, you can mention that, and then say, have you used a smartphone or tablet to complement a TV show watching experience?
Ooh.
So that could be. Have you been on social media?
Are you a one screen or a two screen or a
Yes.
three
Are
screen?
have you used the second screen? So have you been
And
on?
how big is your screen?
Have you been watching a TV program and tweeting a hashtag or using Get Glue to check in while you're watching any of those apps?
Yeah. Are you using special apparatuses to get more out of your machines?
Yeah. So starting with Randall.
I ran out of batteries.
What?
Starting with Randall.
What? Oh, me?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Randall Ortzer at Number Crunchers. I have to admit, though, I haven't actually tweeted while watching a TV show. Not that I can remember, anyways. And I have a big 50-inch plasma.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
Panel envy.
manly.
Panel envy.
Yeah, he might be compensating. You never know.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. He's got one of those Ferrari
matches.
styles. All right. Big
All right.
Bonnie.
At B Sainsbury on Twitter, and I am one half of Women Talking Tech, which is a new webcast on Google Plus.
With tens and tens and tens of followers.
Featured in Georgia Strait Geek Speak.
All right.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
cool.
I was
Very cool.
It was the Georgia Strait, for God's sakes.
I know.
I was so excited.
I know.
Yeah, I was in there once too.
Next it'll be the New York
Yeah, a
Times.
long time ago.
Okay.
Cool.
Stop.
My
steal-
picture was right
stealing
under
Bonnie's
Tony
thunder.
Clement, the health minister.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's
So-
when you were trashing.
Then he
that.
switched to industry minister. And,
Everybody got confused.
Yeah.
I think it was a political move.
So we keep going.
Yep.
So I don't have a television.
What?
I do not have a.
Do you have a large monitor?
She has Netflix.
Some
I
device
have
with many,
Netflix.
many pixels?
No, it's 21 or 23 or, one
Whatever.
of
But
those.
you're about 2 inches away, right?
But I am indeed 2 inches away. But I have two laptops.
Oh. One for
a
each eye.
one for. So I have.
And
A
a tablet
smartphone
and a
and a
smartphone.
tablet. She's a quadruple screener.
Yeah, so I'm a quadruple and I use not just when I'm watching television I often have Netflix in the middle, 17-inch laptop here, 14-inch laptop here. I'm working on my tablet at any given time.
Well, and the tablet is there, right? Because you were here, and there.
Tablet's
You
right
have to
in
balance it out.
front of me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be a there.
And I would use my smartphone too, but the reception is not good in my apartment.
You need to
So
move.
I don't know what that makes me, schizophrenic or something.
It makes you a woman that talks to.
So have you, you've never, while you're watching
Consumer.
Netflix, you've never actually tweeted out with a hashtag about a show or anything like
Well,
that?
no,
and
because
actually-
it's probably from 2001. So I
You
would
can
have to
still
go
tweet
back
out.
in time. Actually, I have talked about it on Facebook because Facebook's like that. So I have mentioned what I was watching on Facebook.
while you
because I
were
w-
watching it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Fringe gives me makes me scared, So I have to talk to someone like my, and
Wow.
I can't phone my mommy, so I just put it out on Facebook that I'm watching.
I'm watching Fringe
Face,
Protect Me.
I'm watching Fringe, and I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to have a nightmare. I'm
So
going to have a
what
nightmare.
what part scares you about Fringe? Because that isn't a horror show.
The early
It can
ones
be.
were.
Can it?
Season one
It's
was
the,
pretty
is it, it's
gruesome.
the suspense or the horror.
Wow.
No, season one was gruesome.
I tried to watch American Horror, and I was scared.
Bob, season 1 or season 2? Because I've told you 80 times, start with 2.
I know, first episode
Why
with
would
the
you start with
twins,
two?
it was too scary. That little girl in
Oh,
the big
one
scary
comes
house.
before two.
So
Come
you
on.
started
Some
with
idiot's
one.
gonna go
Okay,
into that house.
digression.
Why would you go into the
Big
house?
digression.
Digression.
So
Okay.
next is
That's a
So
pretty good
I-
show, isn't it?
Insurance Maven.
One at a time. One at a time.
So yeah, my turn. Margaret Reynolds,
Take it, Margaret.
the other half of Women Talking Tech.
All right.
I have another YouTube show called To Finance and Protect, and you can find them all on my YouTube channel,
Dun, dun,
Burnaby
dun, dun.
Insurance Gal.
Nice.
All
I haven't
right.
actually seen the Finance and Protect one, but
I have. It was excellent.
Yeah, the first. Yeah, we've done 2 so far. More coming up.
I'm gonna check it
on
out.
Twitter.
But I did watch Women Talking Tech, and it's pretty good show. I
Pretty
must
damn
say.
good.
We've got good feedback.
Two
from
blondes,
it.
you can't go wrong with
And
that.
I have
Three broads because they've got to get guests.
Blondes.
They've got a regular
Blondes. I
guest.
didn't
He
say
said
broads.
Not broads.
Two broads.
Ah.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
not done yet.
Oh, okay. Hurry up.
Okay,
Hurry up quickly. God, these blondes.
I would have
Ah.
been. I am a triple screener. I have a 50-inch TV.
Whoa.
Is that bigger than Mr. R?
Now, is it a plasma or is it
No.
an LED or LCD?
It's a flat screen. It's a Panasonic
He has no
Viera.
fucking idea.
It's a Panasonic Viera. It's fabulous.
So whatever the salesman said was best.
and he just had to be really cute.
Can I have the
Ouch.
one with pink trim?
Actually, no. I had a. Anyway, anyway, I got a good deal on it. I know a guy, and I have a 17-inch laptop.
How big was the truck?
that he fell off.
Plus my Samsung that are always around when I'm watching TV. And yes, I have tweeted out during a show. Not
show?
often. I don't know.
Wasn't a porn
So
show,
you, did you
Was
did
it
you,
No,
related?
actually, last one would have been a Super Bowl.
did you use a
Wow.
hashtag?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Hashtag how big is
Did
it?
you interact with anybody while you were on the show?
Not that time, no. But I have in the past. Couldn't tell you really what show it was. But
Okay, cool.
There
So
might have
you
been
have
one.
actually done that.
I have actually done it, and I am a triple screener.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Triple screening. All right. All right.
Screamer or screener?
wow.
Oh, no.
That's like that's like a menage a screen.
Oy
Follow that, Ian. Follow that.
Yeah, please. Downgrade it, for God's sake.
Never tweeted or anything about a television show ever.
Did you check
Not
in
really
like on
interested.
because you're a check-in guy? You check in everywhere.
I do, but not usually when I'm watching television.
So you don't use Get Glue and check in. Say I'm watching this.
He
Not
does
really.
glue, but that's about
I
it.
don't watch television all that much, so I can't really comment.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But
I
we
do
got
have a
somebody
television,
here.
but I don't watch it very much.
We got somebody here that watches an unnatural amount of television.
He watches a lot of
And
unnatural
And we
TV.
love him for it.
It's all
He
porn.
watches unnatural TV.
Natural.
So, Marcel Lapointe on Twitter at Crazy TV Talk as of yesterday when my account got reinstated.
Yay!
Congrats.
It may or may not have been suspended for being too aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Who knew I
Wow.
had it in me? Legit though, I love live tweeting. I think it's the greatest thing ever, especially if you're a nerd like me. But I love my job with all my heart, but I work a shift that's very strange and not conducive to live tweeting. So really, if I wanted to like tweet all my shows as I watch them, I'd have to do it in the middle of the night. And I don't do that because I'm worried I'm going to look like a drug addict. So usually in the morning, I'll be like, I watched The Office and this is what I thought. But it would be much more, stream of consciousness if I was doing it live. I do it with some shows, like Sunday night shows, or on Monday, Canada's Worst Driver, when I'm off work. I would go to my boyfriend's house and we would both live tweet it together, Canada's Worst Date Night, yo. And it's adorable, I swear. And yeah, if I worked a better shift, I would live tweet everything. But that's just me.
Okay,
Really?
what about any apps that were like designed like because Twitter is the winner here in terms
Well,
of
hashtags
what's
are the
happening
winner.
now. Yeah, hashtags.
Hashtags are the winner.
But there are apps that are that people are trying to get this market to take this market, the second screen.
There's only really one right now that has any kind of momentum in my eyes as a giant nerd. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But Get Glue, they have the whole you can earn the stickers. That's neat. People like to earn their stickers, even though it's a little bit dumb. It's like with The Office. It's like earn the Meredith sticker, and it's just like a picture of Meredith, and it's like whatevers. But I will say I find it fascinating, the whole hashtag thing. Like they rolled it out 2 seasons ago with the hashtags in the corner of the screen, and now they're saying, "Oh, we're going to measure that for Nielsen ratings." That's amazing because they've kind of run out these hashtags dry and let us be the guinea pigs hashtagging the hashtags they wanted us to hashtag, and now they're like, "Yeah, it's a rating system, bitch."
Could you work another hashtag in there?
Hashtag
going on the
awesome. I don't know. I find the whole thing interesting. I love live tweeting. I do it more if I worked better shift, but I'm not complaining. My job is the best.
So
And done.
I've just got a quick question. Even though we are doing a round table, I'm just going to do a Bobby. I'm watching Suits right now, and they have these hashtags like, should so-and-so have been fired? Why can't I hashtag that even though I'm watching it months and months after anybody else watched it on TV?
You can still do that.
You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
but no one cares.
But it's just not going to have the same effect. You're not going to be part of the original conversation. And this is what I was thinking. All these apps and all these and Twitter, using Twitter in this fashion, is actually going to bring people back possibly to live TV.
You'd think, but they've been doing
Nah.
it for 2 seasons now,
No.
and now they're going to start measuring it. Live TV is slowly dying. It's something we all need to accept. But there's enough people watching, but it's not what it was.
Yeah, it's a dying
Yeah.
demographic.
Yeah.
With
But
the exception of
but
sports.
They use the hashtag to kind of measure who's
who wants to watch
watching
the
it
game
live
3
slash
days
who's
later?
watching it within the next couple of days on the DVR.
So with
it's smart.
sports, aren't they going to bars and social
No, people watch
things?
at home. Lots of
Do
people
they?
watch at home.
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
say most
peop-
people watch at home.
Well, a lot
Really?
of people have a party at home
Okay.
and watch as well.
I'm gonna quickly say something off topic, and then we're gonna go on to the next guy. I'm so sorry.
Are you going to say
Oh,
green
no.
martini?
Bob, man, I told you 80 times. Start with season 2 of American Horror Story, and you're like, I hate the twins, dude. Season 2, it's better.
All
It's a
right, I will
completely
try, but
different
it's
story.
scary. It's scary.
Oh, it's way
They got
Oh,
scary.
okay.
Nazi.
It's great.
Okay, so
They
it's
got
like
scary
it's not the
people.
same storyline or anything.
No, it's it's
okay.
basically an anthology series. They do
Now I
it so they
understand.
can be nominated for best anthology series instead of best drama. Kind of cheating, but whatevs. Each season's a completely new story with as many of the actors as they can get. And
But
they-
the weird stuff happened in season 2.
yes, season 1 is good, but a little bit light. Season 2 is just plain nuts.
So they're unrelated. You don't have to watch season 1 to understand.
You don't
season
have
2.
to. The only kick you get out of it is the characters are all opposite. So, like a villain from season 1 will show up as a good guy, or a good person for season 1 will show up as a villain. So that's how they do it. But meh.
That's pretty scary.
I've digressed the hell out of this whole thing.
Excellent.
Do
Because
you
you have a
expect
green
anything
martini.
less? Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Great, Adam.
I needed to finish my beer. Thank you.
I think I did.
Hey, what up?
Whoa, dude.
Word Maven.
Yo, hat,
Adam
hat,
Sanger.
Word.
hat. All right.
At Gamer Hook.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question we're doing?
Are you a one
TV.
screener,
I had
two
something
screener,
different
three
to-
screener?
It's been so
No,
long.
I had something different to say though. I've been
What's your size of your screen, baby?
32-inch screen, just a small screen. I don't need a big one. I don't need a big one.
It's not the size of the screen; it's what you put on it.
I want to talk about. I was watching. You guys seen The Walking Dead? Probably. Someone here.
Yeah,
Indeed.
The Walking
I
Dead.
have.
They have sort of like a join them while it's live. You can join them on their website, and they go through like they have a whole nother sort of show playing on the website where it's really interactive. People can vote on things like how gory was this scene, and it's a 1 out of 10, or someone will be using a new gun and will give like a little description on the gun and how many rounds per second and blah blah blah. And there's also sort of a chat room, which I found was really stupid. Like you get in the chat room and there's 1,000 people trying to use it, so it's just like this constant.
I got a quick
stream.
question. When they're showing the gun and the stats and everything, is there an affiliate link to Kmart? Where you
Where
to get the
or
most
Walmart.
ammo.
Yeah, I think soon coming. Yeah.
Actually, there's another show that does that. Republic of Doyle has their own app, and you can follow along on the show. with
Really?
the app. Yeah.
Love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched a few episodes of that. It's not
I
bad.
think actually Survivor does it too. I've never watched it. I always watch them just
Well, and
after the
So
fact.
what are they selling?
Pause.
Yeah.
Survivor doesn't really do it.
I would just have to say, even though this is the Bunker Show where we talk about social media and marketing over a beer, in Crazy TV Talk last show on Saturday, we did talk about Applebee's for about 15 minutes. So
Oh, no.
that's why we're talking. It's like a revenge thing.
No, I actually thought I wasn't there for that.
No,
'cause
no. I
was at a
think the
wedding.
second screen thing
No,
is a tech thing.
I thought I
It's a
agree.
social
But
media
we're not
and tech
talking
thing.
about it.
I
right
thought the
now.
Applebee's thing was great. It's topical. I had read all about it. I was psyched when I came home from the wedding and saw that on my show we're talking about the Applebee's thing. I'm like, oh, cool. What do the guys think? And then I was kind of sad that they cut it short. And I know they did it because they're like, Marcel's watching and he's going to be angry.
Yeah.
Y'all just rant when you got stuff. Just do it.
We had
Anyway,
a great time bashing.
Yeah, it was
you.
good. I know. You said nothing but nice things.
Oh, I'll work on that.
I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
So moving
Quick
on.
pause, quick pause.
Okay.
Really,
Another
okay.
pause.
About the second screen thing. AMC's really got it figured out because they do that with Breaking Bad too, where you can watch the making of segments while you're watching the show, and then you go online, you listen to the Breaking Bad Insider podcast. You know,
Which is
and
awesome.
As much as the bean counters at AMC keep firing people and making people angry with their penny pinchingness, they've really got the social media aspect kind of nailed down in a way that other networks are just catching up, and I find it really interesting. Also, I'm wrong. HBO is close too. They have a really good thing going with Game of Thrones. But yeah, it's fascinating to me. I'm so sorry I keep talking about myself, and we're good. Done.
No, it was good.
And one
good
thing
input.
though, as I tried it a couple times though, and it was okay, but I almost think the opposite. Like it's just not enough to, like it's sort of pointless. I just want to watch one screen. You know, the more I'm watching
it's
another
too much.
screen,
Yeah, you can get sucked in
Sometimes,
and
yeah.
actually miss the show.
yeah. And I really don't care what's
you know
on that
the
other screen
thing
either.
that whenever I think of this, because I've never been really into a show that much except for the show Lost, and if I was watching, and I never did watch that live either until the last season or the second last season, and at the very end I
You were the one
caught
to
up.
watch that.
Yeah, I caught up.
You were the last one?
Yeah, I watched the entire series, and that show I would have been into that.
Yep.
Because
so much
you know all the theories and everything, and I'd be putting in predictions and stuff like that if I was watching it live.
They need to
this
fix the chat though.
existed back
It's you can't communicate on there just because the stream is so fast. You type something in, then a second later it's gone.
That's
yeah,
what Twitter's
well,
for.
but
Yeah, you
that,
can
but
do it on
even
Twitter.
Twitter's like that.
No,
Yeah.
but you could just follow people that are tweeting in a list,
I guess. Yeah.
right?
One more quick rant, but like Lost started the whole. No, but like Lost really made it. They helped to make podcasts cool. They had the official Lost podcast with Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse every week. I listened to it every week, and podcasts were still kind of becoming a thing at that point. I mean, they were around, but like these days, every show's got a podcast. I'm done.
I watched the whole thing without a podcast. How did I do that?
I don't know. You lost out big time.
Yeah, you watched it 10
Actually-
years
Well,
later.
you know, if you had to wait a week between episodes, you need your Lost fix, so
No,
you would have tuned
this-
into podcast.
Really, this
10
is the
years
way you
later,
should
no
do
good.
it. You should watch the show, listen to a podcast, then you say, "Wow, I didn't know all that stuff," and then you watch the show again, and you got different. You're looking at it on
Oh, yeah.
a totally different angle.
Like
I want to interpret it my way.
No, but
I
you
don't
can
want
interpret it
somebody
your
else
way, but
telling
that's-
me
no,
what-
but it's just like the little
Very cool.
Easter eggs they put in there, and the little references and the subtle things,
Or
like
how
the
they-
magazine cover that's sitting in the hatch.
No.
Little,
Well, you don't
Lost.
need the podcast. Like, really enjoy the show. If you're a giant nerd and all you do is think about the show, it's fun to go online and listen to the official podcast.
Share
listen
with
to
your
the,
community.
the popular podcasts about it, and kind of
if the official
look at it from
podcast
different
is
angles.
good, but some of them aren't always good. Some of the fan podcasts are actually better in a lot of
God,
cases.
you should hear the podcast for this show.
like
No.
crazy TV talk is.
Do you bring in actors to do all the voices?
Well, no, but for some people it
Dogs.
enriches it. Like Breaking Bad, my ritual each week, I watch the episode, I listen to the Insider podcast, I go to the TVcritic.org, I listen to his podcast, I go to Behind the Cutting Edge, I listen to their podcast, which is like the Bunker Project. They get drunk and talk about Breaking Bad. It's pretty good. And no, it's great. And, you know, it makes the show better for me. You look at it from
Actually,
different
you know,
angles,
I've
then
got
you
a-
go into the next
yeah,
episode
it's-
more psyched.
I've
But
experienced that too.
different strokes for different folks.
I watch Person of Interest,
What the fuck
and there's
is
a
that?
podcast called Podcast of Interest.
Oh,
And
very clever.
I listen to way too many podcasts, so I haven't actually kept up on listening to this one. But I watched an episode, and then I listened to the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, like some of the insights they had.
Sure.
I'm like, that's really cool.
Yep.
So I think it works.
Gives you bigger meaning.
Yeah, it
It's-
increases your engagement with the show.
Okay, here's
I think we should let Satomi talk.
You
Yeah.
should hang on. If
Yeah.
you go to an art gallery and look at all the art, like in an art gallery, say, "Oh, that nice art and stuff." If you do that same art gallery, same show with the artist, and they explain, "Oh, when I was painting this, I was doing this and that,
Totally
and
different
that's
experience.
why." And it's like, "Oh my God, I had no idea. Wow, that piece of art has so much more meaning for me." That is what's happening on those things. It gives you a deeper understanding of the medium. And let's face it, these are very
Because you get a
complex
bigger
devices.
view than just
Yeah, but
drum.
not just that, because podcasting can be very interactive. So you can actually, wait a minute, no, I don't agree with that. And you can call their 1-800-1877-636-1474 number, and then you can
If
leave
you
a comment.
Yeah. Okay,
And then-
is that a segue to a comment? Oh, let's listen.
Is that the right phone
So
number?
Tommy first, and then we can have the. This is like when. Oh, crap.
Oh,
Jesus,
hi,
we're 15
yeah.
minutes in.
Yeah, I'm Satomi at goodbyetext.ca.
Hi. Oh.
And okay, so I'm still just transitioning from my XP, which I love. I've had it for over 10 years, and I just love it. And
What's an XP?
Or Windows XP.
Windows
my,
XP.
my Windows
It's a computer.
XP, and I
Really?
love it, and I don't want to let it go, but it
Wow.
can't be updated. So I come here to the
Jump
Bucket
to
Project
7.
to find out whenever I need any kind of technical help or whatever, I
There-
get the information I need. So now I know I have to get Windows 8.
There's a
So-
service in town. They can come over to your
But make
apartment,
sure,
they'll shoot your
like I
computer
said
for you.
earlier, if you're going to go Windows 8, it has to be touchscreen. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
said.
That's what Bonnie said.
Don't
yeah.
even.
Do you want to buy this
consider
one?
it.
I'm selling it.
So I really. So this is I'm
Give you a
not
good deal.
techie savvy, social media, whatever. But at least I get all the things I need to know. I do find it when I come here. So
I'm
thank
curious.
You so much.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you using your computer for? What are you doing with your computer? You like surfing
Well,
the net,
the only
do
thing I
email?
need it for is emails and PowerPoint, and then I do need a DVD because I don't have a TV, and sometimes I like to watch a video or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't have a DVD player and a TV?
Well,
No, you
no,
said you don't
no,
have a TV.
no, I
right?
don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have a TV. So I need that. What do you call that little thing that comes out?
DVD player.
DVD
DVD
player.
player. It's in the computer.
It's not a cup
DVD
holder.
drive.
It's a cup
So
holder.
you see
yeah.
how
A
that's
guy.
how. And I don't have an iPhone. I don't.
Bruno.
I just have a cell.
Bruno.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very basic. But then I just come here and I get all the information
VHS?
I need. So why do I need all this techie stuff?
Yeah, it's well,
All
you know
right.
what? That's a very good question. You know, you could probably get away with something like a Mac Mini and
not a matter of
big
need.
giant monitor.
No, just VHS, man.
and then you could put your DVD player in there and play. It'd be awesome. It'd be powerful enough, and you wouldn't.
Yeah.
It'd be tiny.
But it would cost 10 times
Yeah,
as
but
much
I-
as.
What? You
Is
can
it-
get, you can get a 24-inch screen for a computer for $199 now. That used
For
to
an-
cost
for a Mac?
$1,200.
I bought one on Boxing Day
For
for
anything,
$88.
yeah, Mac
Oh,
PC,
well,
same
yeah,
thing.
I do have a 22 or 20.
Yeah, sure.
already
She
got
has
the
a-
monitor.
She has a
Screen
monitor.
for my
She just
computer.
needs some
Yes.
Right.
processing.
So all you need is so just get a
Yeah,
little Mac
she
Mini.
just needs the OS.
Anyways,
Anyways, here we
Which
go.
is
Windows,
Windows,
PC,
leave
whatever.
Windows.
Yeah.
Speaking
get a
of,
BlackBerry computer.
Speaking of Microsoft,
BlackBerry's awesome.
have you guys heard that they're actually thinking of porting Office to Linux?
Yeah, and also to iOS if they can work out
really?
the monthly fee, because iOS Apple wants, because it's going Office 365 is a monthly subscription. So if they sell the app for X dollars, or if they make the app free, Apple wants 30% of the ongoing payment,
Yeah, but
because they take a chunk of everything that's in the
why
app.
would
Store.
you
the App
pay
Store.
for it? I mean, why? It's just you get it on Google for free. for
No,
God's
you
sake.
don't. You don't.
Oh no.
Not Office.
No, you don't.
You get most.
Yeah,
of
you
Office.
get basically
You get
what
the
Office
basic.
does.
You get the basic use, and that's all I need. I don't need
Yes,
anything
me
more
too.
than
That's what 99.99% of people need.
No, but
God's
people
sake.
in
Where?
in big corporations use Office, and they're not going to change.
Yeah, because they don't know any better.
no, they need
I'm
it.
with Bobby there.
Yeah,
I mean, a
I'm with Bobby,
typewriter is
too.
a typewriter, for God's sake. I mean, you don't need it to do everything
They
Microsoft
could use
Word.
I can tell you. I can tell you that
ridiculous waste of time.
where I work, we need Office. We
Well,
need
why?
we need
Well, just
Excel.
open Office.
Excel.
Okay, Excel.
We need Excel, and we need those features
Well,
because
open-
we're
open
managing.
Office.
We're
Yeah,
managing.
but Office has all those
Yeah,
features.
it's perfect.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they do.
Not
Yeah,
every
I've
single
got
one,
it loaded
but
on every machine I have.
yeah.
Pause for a sec. I have a suggestion. We always do this round table, but we always have people in the Hangout that they aren't part of the round table.
Yeah, they are. He's coming up next.
Oh, I thought we were going to skip Ken.
We
I was
haven't
just
stopped
like-
yet.
we haven't.
Bob and I
Okay.
haven't gone, and neither has Ken.
I thought
Ken.
we were off the
Yeah,
round
back up,
table.
back up.
Hard-
We're just
I'm
on
sorry.
major diversions.
All right, okay. If Marcel
It
hadn't
showed two
interrupted-
diversions.
Ken, what's your? Go ahead and do yours.
Hi, I'm Ken.
Thanks,
so-
Ken.
That's it.
Office is good.
So your
Ken-
Twitter, you
Ken,
need
Okay, one
I
screener,
overhyped
two
you.
screener.
I'm at
triple talking.
Ken AMCG, and well, there's not much else. Camdigital.com.
and your show that's your upcoming show.
Yes, that's still coming. iCamcast.
iCam.
I listened to
as
show
in
0.
KAM. What's that?
I listened to show 000.
Oh, you did show. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
You were so good.
Yeah. No, that's I've been working externally, so I haven't had a chance to do what I need to do for the show.
Yeah, you've been too busy
That's
working.
okay.
that
I've got
So, one
I haven't had a
screener?
chance to do up my other shows either yet.
I know.
They're just
I
like
know.
Now, Ken, I know for a fact that you have two, 24 inch or 22 inches in front of you.
I have two 24-inch.
Yeah, one
monitors,
for each eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And
He can
yeah,
split them.
and,
That's why his eyes are
actually,
weird.
I've got a laptop and another monitor running at this point because I was doing some audio editing earlier.
Yeah,
and
and?
I do it all on the laptop. And there's a 43-inch over in the thing, and I've got my 3-inch here phone. And I've got the 6-inch reader, and I've got the tablet as well. So yeah, no, I have no panel envy. I'll tell you.
You got lots of screens. Okay, so the next question is: have you ever watched a television program?
Oh, that part. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No.
Okay, short answer.
I did.
Thank
I did
God.
have Get Glue for a while, so I can't honestly remember if I
stick with
did
you?
it at the time.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I've signed up and I've gone in there. And
Yes,
stuff, and I said
I
what
had it a
liked,
long
but I've
time
never
ago,
used it
and
live.
I redid my phone, so going to Jelly Bean, forced it to Jelly Bean, so and I hadn't loaded it since.
I've been trying to put the Bunker Project in Get Glue, and I've seen other podcasts in there, but I can't seem to figure out.
Really?
And I emailed them, and they said just put it through, and never gets through. I don't know.
Really,
You can put a
Okay.
podcast and got glue.
Yeah, you
Bob,
can,
yeah.
let's get people collecting
Yeah,
our
yeah.
stickers.
All right.
Yeah, you can actually. You can do all that, but I don't know. I don't know how to get in there. And I've emailed them, and they just said, "Oh, just do this," and I do this, and I think we got rejected. Maybe I don't know.
One of my favorite
Bad
apps.
content?
Though. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bring that up.
Porn.
It could
One
be
of my
explicit,
favorite
yeah.
apps
Not
is.
I think so.
Focus.
I think it's
Censored.
I think we're explicit. I think
Oh yeah.
Censored.
banned from.
Explicit.
Oh,
Wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
I
The
can
fuck
understand that.
Lack
Explicit
of focus.
podcasts cannot be
Oh,
on Get
shit.
Glue.
Oh, I have no
Seriously?
idea. I have no idea. I'm sure WTF is on there. Anyways,
What the fuck?
No, I was
Moving
just
on.
going to say one of my favorite apps is Power Toggles.
Power toggles.
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
love Power Toggles.
Can you?
What does that do?
I don't think I would. What is? Yeah.
You used it, Bonnie.
I did.
Yeah, well, you had it on your phone. I put it on. You thought it was great.
Oh.
It gives you the little extra buttons to do
Oh,
extra
right.
stuff on
Okay,
your phone.
sorry. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah,
It was a good experience, though.
all right, Bob. Moving on to Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Garlic
Just
ad,
just
Bob
Google
Garlic.
Bob Garlic. God, I mean, it's like that's it.
And have you ever
That's
watched
like
live
60
TV
years
and,
of
and
content.
tweeted?
Okay, so yeah, what's my screen envy? I got a 24-inch where I watch most of everything because I'm in front of the damn thing for 8 hours a day. Got a 17-inch and
No,
phone and all
that's
stuff.
not the question. Have you ever tweeted
Yeah.
or done any kind of social media while you're watching TV?
Okay. Yeah, I have, but for old TV shows. So that's what my question was earlier because I got so. I was watching Suits the other day and they said, should they fire this guy? And I just tweeted out, no, I don't think they should.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
that's
then I realized,
dangerous.
hang on, this was in 2009 this show came out. So
Oops.
They made that call a while ago.
Just a little late.
So I guess
Somebody has the answer,
you'd
so
have to
isn't
worry
that a
about
little dangerous,
spoilers too
Bob?
when you do that too, right?
no, not if you watch
Because somebody will actually give you the answer. Well, they did or they didn't.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like if you've got a TV show, what is your hashtag strategy? Do you ask people to like give their opinion of what should happen to this character, and then do you tell the writers, and then the writers actually change what happens to that character? You know, that would be a very bad thing to happen because you get a bunch of idiots telling, "Oh, yeah, you should have
Yes,
been fired."
I think that's stupid.
Yeah, leaving it up to the lowest common denominator is never a wise
That is
idea.
just
It's funny
stupid.
because we brought this up in Crazy TV Talk, and the consensus seems to be the opposite. But
Did we?
Ken thinks it's a great idea. I love you, Ken. Ken, dude, Hawaii 5-0. No. Hawaii 5-0 did what you wanted, Ken. They were like, hey, watch the episode, tweet live, and we'll do what you say.
Didn't
they
movies-
did it.
Oh, did they?
With an
Yes,
evil
did-
voice
Yeah,
too.
they had there were three suspects, and based on the hashtag tweets
done
throughout the episode, that determined the ending.
Oh, that's
live.
right. They did do that. Yeah.
Which, as much as I don't want to give Hawaii 5-0 credit for anything, they did that. They had the episode of the Jimi Hendrix music. They had the one where they remade a 70s one. They're trying stuff, so good for them.
Yeah, they are. They are trying a lot of different
Just
things.
hire some writers with talent.
Yeah.
Or try
That's too
things.
hard nowadays.
It's too hard, man. It's
All the
just too
Brits are
hard.
busy.
And they actually, yeah, all the Brits are busy. Well, they actually want to get paid.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
going to move on now. I was going to say mine. Andrew McGivern at Podcast Hero on Twitter. And I've actually never done that because I only watch TV shows PVR'd or on Netflix. But I'm like Marcel. I'm kind of fascinated with it, and I think it might be something that maybe I'd be interested in. If I get into a show like I was with Lost, where I'm totally into the show, and I've got theories of what's going to happen. If I'm totally engrossed in the show, I could see myself doing it, but I'm not.
Why don't we pick a show?
Come on, Andrew,
and do it.
Andrew really wants
that
to.
show is Breaking Bad. Catch up before the last block, y'all.
I think Ken makes a very good point. I think that works best if you have a community, a bunch of people you kind of hang with already. They're your buddies, and say, "Look let's just make a hashtag like hashtag
But if you
fuck
Google-
this show," and then we just when we make comments, we do it, and then we could just all follow those hashtags. Oh, Joe, that was an awesome blah blah blah.
But if you do a search for the show, you will find the hashtag, and there is already a community. And that's the whole thing. You have
but I'm saying why? Why do you have to get involved with 1,000 strangers when you can like hang out with your buddies?
Because you get different ideas. And
No, but I mean that's
the whole point of listening to a podcast.
But that's the beauty of Twitter is that you don't have to do it that way. Like you don't have to follow everybody. You can just the people that really say the cool things that you like to follow on Twitter. You can put them in a list for that TV show and only follow that when you're on the show. So I mean, you can bring strangers in if they're saying cool stuff. I think Twitter actually is statistically the winner here. There's all these other people that are all these other apps. There's Get Glued. There's tons of them.
Well, how about the 5 top ones?
That are trying to do this. There's Get Glue.
This dog in a red coat.
Oh yeah, this one's cool. Shazam, which traditionally has been like just trying to
figure out music,
but now they're the audio QR code. So this is providing television programs a way to engage with the audience with their smartphones to open the Shazam app and play it and get whatever, I don't know. But it's kind of cool. It'll recognize what
Shazam, though.
Yeah. But is it to earn points or whatever? I don't know.
So now that Gomer Pyle has come out as gay, isn't Shazam going to be the next gay catchphrase? It's like
Shazam. That's more of a black one.
Yeah, but Gomer Pyle.
Shazam wasn't really Gomer
whiter.
Pyle's catchphrase.
Isn't
it
Gomer
was
Pyle
only
dead,
perceived
though?
that way because there was an episode of The Simpsons that had him say it several times.
I think that's
so. Then there's
LA
Get
thing.
Glue.
Pyle is
Get
like in
Glue.
the
We already
50s.
talked about. There's
Nobody caught that. We're
Miso.
good.
Not even
Miso.
close.
I don't even know what Miso is. Anyone
Soup?
know that?
Misa is beautiful stuff.
Into Now is another app that allows you to communicate with people, and then ZBox is another one. So there's all these apps that are trying to get into the space, but
Nobody's using them.
but there's a guy.
What about Hassan Chop?
Named
It's always
Carlos
some
Diaz. Carlos Diaz says in a blog post that social TV apps and this whole second screen startups that are sprouting up everywhere have no chance of winning against the incumbents, which are the TV channels and producers themselves. Because if the Super Bowl or the NFL is going to come out with their own, they can offer a lot more than any of these other people can do. They can offer, hey, go into our app and you can see behind the scenes camera angles. You can see all these different things. They can offer things that nobody else can. So, I mean, these other apps can provide a community. They can provide a community of people talking, but if you want the other stuff, which is really cool, you got to go with the people who own the content. What do you think, Marcel?
I don't know.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Wow, no answer. No answer to the question.
Stop the
Here's what
presses.
happened.
Is that hell freezing over?
Rendered Marcel
Here's what
speechless.
actually happened. I'm going to let you into my thought process here.
There you go.
The moment Randall made the joke about Gomer Pyle, I was like, that's an inaccurate Gomer Pyle reference because he says Shazam on the Simpsons episode. He didn't say that all the time on Gomer Pyle.
He said it once.
Shazam is what Billy Batson says to turn
Shazam.
into Captain Marvel. That's where Shazam comes from.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
So,
Gomer
He's a
Pyle
superhero.
said it on the TV show.
Yes, he did. He did.
Not all the time.
Yes, he
but
did.
Not all the time,
no.
but Marcel,
The
we remember
Simpsons brought
actually
it
watching
into
the
popular
TV show.
culture.
You weren't born
Yes.
yet.
I watched it live.
You weren't even
Yeah.
thought of.
Point is, I got distracted. I stopped
Your
thinking about
parents
what
were
was coming
just
out of
kids.
Andrew's mouth. I noticed he kept looking at me. So I just stopped
He
paying
blanked.
attention. I'm a bad. Honestly, I was thinking about my next drink. I am a bad.
No, so basically the question is just in the short version, all these apps that are trying to capitalize on the second screen and Twitter as well being used because there isn't really a good one, I guess, that people can that are already on. Can they compete with the TV stations and the producers themselves who may offer content like you said, the Game of Thrones, or say the NFL offers other angles of the plays?
They can't compete because they're an add-on. They're not a product. They're an add-on. They're an add-on that requires the product, so they can't compete.
Yeah. So, but basically, all they can do is provide a community where people can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you're adding more incentive for people to watch your show, and you're giving people a bonus to stay tuned into your show or to stay giant fans. You know, that's what it is. It's just giving them more reason to tune in.
Yeah. So Carlos Diaz says there will be no Instagram of the second screen because the
second screen is
once the networks and the producers of these shows decide to start competing in this space.
I think that's totally wrong, though. Why would they? That's not what they do. They're just going to focus on their core competency.
But they will for sure. They want engagement with the audience, and that the game is going to change in the next few years.
But here's the thing: they don't necessarily have to compete. Everybody has a Twitter presence, and they're using Twitter to measure shit.
I think they
Are
do
they
have to
competing
compete
on Twitter, but not.
Yeah,
these are the networks, guys. It's big business. It's like give it all to.
Yeah,
we want it all. Fuck you. We want to make money with this.
How come
15
Instagram
years
wouldn't
ago,
work? I don't get this.
15 years ago,
No. It was a metaphor.
Okay, we're double talking here. Nobody can hear us.
It was a metaphor. Like there won't be an Instagram of the second screen.
All right, Ken's turn.
But why?
Well,
Hang on,
15, 20 years ago, the networks were the only game in town. That's not the case anymore. Their ratings for every show have been dropping, but it's only because the overall viewership is dropping. It's dropping drastically.
Why?
They're not coming to TV
content
anymore.
Okay, it's not that the viewership. I agree with Ken. It is dropping, but it's not so
But
much.
they're
the
changing
viewership.
the way they view.
That's
Yes,
all it is.
that's it.
The
That's all
viewership
it is.
not really dropping. People are more engaged with pop
Well, no,
culture than
I mean
ever.
they are watching
no,
the shows.
I'm agreeing.
but
and I'm
they're not
disagreeing
watching
with
the
you.
networks anymore.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying the way that people eat up content is completely changing. There are more people engaged with pop culture than ever, but the traditional ways of measuring it aren't shaking it no more.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question for Marcel because he's the TV dude. Oh, Marcel got flowers.
Oh, it's a gay moment. Oh my God. Oh.
Marcel, do you want another martini?
Oh my God. What's your birthday or
he's
something?
beaming.
I have
Marcel?
no idea what's happening.
What's
right
going
See the glow
on?
from here.
Hey, that's what do you call
The
that?
mammogram came back.
That's
It's a girl.
It's a gallstone. Sorry.
you don't even know this guy, right? So what's that commercial? It's like when a man you don't
even
know
know
gives
that
you
guy?
flowers. That's
amore.
That's when you're in trouble.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Oh, come on. You can't deny now. I've seen him on your Twitter feed.
Come on, he's the BF.
all right.
Or if he's not, you're in
So-
trouble.
So let's get him on the mic. Let's interview him right
Somebody
now.
hold these. No.
That was a big digression.
He was like, I'm not going on a mic. I did not expect him to drop by that.
Oh, you can
All
be
right.
on the
You
mic.
asked
He'd
me.
be
I
so
completely
cute.
forgot. It's gone now. It's gone.
Let's reel it back a minute here.
That was
Before
awesome.
the flower moment.
God, that cost us so much money.
What is it? Incense?
That
was
blew
it
half of your
incense?
budget
That's
right there.
incense. That commercial, you know.
No.
This girl's walking along. This woman's walking along, and this guy. She's going up the escalator, and this guy runs up the escalator after her and gives her flowers. And then it was like, when a man you don't know suddenly gives you flowers, and it was a perfume commercial, and it's like that's incense or something.
Or poison.
Incest?
That was back in the day, man. That was way back when I used to watch
I never
TV.
watched commercials back
I don't
then.
remember.
either.
Never even seen or heard of that.
Okay,
commercial.
I would like to
That's when you
to
call the
talk to
police.
this
All right, Pawnee,
This
talk for it.
idea-
Which one?
the whole thing.
All right.
The network
So
thing.
the network thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day, oh God, when it was black and white. No,
1952.
When we-
Back in the day when we
when-
got our first television.
I know when we used to sit there and watch Ed Sullivan or whatever. No, Lost. So we were glued to Lost, and when there was stuff that I would go and talk to the people at work the next day. And if there were
That's
things
right.
I wanted
but
to
we're
talk to,
self-employed now. We don't-
my
who we can talk
second
to?
screen was in fact the damn phone.
Yeah.
I phoned somebody who thought the same way and said,
Yeah.
"What the hell happened? Did you see that?"
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
been doing second screen. It was just different technology.
Well, it was just
Yeah.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Same
so
thing happens
it's-
with shows these days.
So
They ship
now,
different
but now,
day.
can you see yourself in the future if you get into a show like that, being on some kind of app and
No.
talking to people?
No, because I watched 10 in a row at 3 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning,
so
or
my
whenever I want.
Yeah, but you go on CCT, the Creative TV, Crazy TV Talk. Thank you. God, I'm
Yeah.
drunk. Crazy TV Talk, a hangout.
Yeah.
And we all talk about TV shows.
Yep.
And every now and again, you get really excited about a TV show and talk about it.
Yep.
That is the same thing.
As what?
But
No,
we're
it's
not
not.
watching it at the
tweeting out
same
and stuff.
time.
It's a community talk. It's a community talking about a specific show on TV.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to
like
use an
hashtagging.
app that
But we're talking
the
about
hashtag-
producers told me I don't
No, I
use
wouldn't
the
use that either.
hashtag.
Oh no! I'm not saying that.
we-
no, but that's what we're
Well, I
talking
have
about.
to tell
today.
you, I've tweeted out when we were talking about this on my Twitter saying, hey, we're talking about this. Are you 1 screen or 2 screen or 3 screen, or do you do sports? Is it your TV series? What or award shows? Do you think it's
Yeah.
odd? So far, I've had 2 people respond. They love doing it for sports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes
it.
it
Or
yeah,
like
because
the
it's exciting.
Oscars.
Yeah.
Or the Oscars or any of
yeah,
those other
something like that.
stupid
Yeah.
But
shows.
then, but then
Award
why
shows are
can't?
great.
But then why can't you do it for something like with the gladiators in the screen and blah 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 blah? What's that show? Blood in the Sand. That's like an
Spartacus?
Spartacus.
What?
That's
Spartacus.
a sport. You're saying, oh
That's
my
a
god,
sport?
that guy's leg got totally taken out.
Yeah, you can do it
Gnarly.
for the
Did you see
UFC
the
and
blood?
stuff like that for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, UFC
Okay.
is huge on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcel, Netflix
Yes.
with their House of Cards.
oh
right?
yeah.
House
we're
of
going with
Cards.
this.
So this is a big thing because it's changing the way that
It's a historic
content is
event.
being created.
Yep. Yep.
House
Well,
of Cards,
distributed.
no created.
Distributed.
And no created. Let me make my point. And I heard this. It's not my point. I heard it on Twit.
Okay, fine.
I would like Andrew to finish.
So in the past, when networks would make a pilot and put the pilot up, and if it got good reviews, they would start the season. Season might not make it through the whole season if they couldn't find advertisers, right? Yep. Not just if they got ratings, but if they can't sell ads on it, it could be canceled just for that purpose.
Here's the thing: pilots don't air before a show gets picked up. Pilots are way before they produce more episodes.
pilot's a pitch.
A pilot,
Yeah,
a pilot
yeah.
is a pitch, and then they decide, do we want to make a show? And generally, they'll have made 6 to 13 episodes before they start airing anything, and then based on the performance of those, they decide the direction of the back 8 or whatever for the season. Yes, House of Cards is changing things, but that's the appetizer. Arrested Development in May is the
No,
meal.
but my point is,
That's
okay,
gonna change
when a
things.
show gets canceled
Yeah.
halfway through the season, it's not necessarily because it didn't do well. It's because they can't sell ads for that particular show.
That's true. Yeah, it's not because it's a good show. It just happens to have the wrong time slot, or it can't sell ads. It may be a perfectly good show.
Yeah,
And
it
they
might
prove
it
that
might
over
it might
and
have it might have a huge fan base. It might be popular. It's just if they can't sell ads for that show, if the advertisers aren't biting, they'll cancel.
Yeah.
They'll cancel the
Wouldn't
show
be the
because
first-
that's how they make money. But
But-
Wouldn't be the
Netflix,
first time that the fans have brought a show back either.
But
Netflix is a totally different model. All they have to do is prove that the audience is interested in the show.
Yep.
So they make all the episodes. They put them all up there all at once because on Netflix people like to binge.
Commercial free.
It's commercial free and it's
But I mean,
subscription
commercial
based.
break
So the
period.
content is what is driving
Yep.
the whole experience. It's not the advertisers. You take them out of it.
yeah, it has nothing
That's
to do
right.
with advertising.
So
because people
it's
pay
gonna
for it
it's gonna
already.
mean that all these shows that maybe got canceled way too soon, that were awesome shows that people loved, are gonna have a chance in this model.
Yep.
I certainly hope
Why?
so.
Why
be.
not?
Oh no, exactly. Like the paradigm is shifting right now. It's shifting very slowly, but it's shifting. You know, like if Community doesn't come back for a season 5, new showrunners blarg. But if that doesn't happen, you know, odds are it'll be on Netflix, it'll be on Hulu, it'll be somewhere. Like the paradigm slowly shifting. It's more about the content than about traditional means of anything these days. And Arrested Development's going to be the big push. And like the thing is, the big boys are scared of this. Like AMC canceled The Killing. The Killing almost went to Hulu. What's the first thing AMC did? They brought The Killing back on
Yep.
TV. They're terrified of this because if they cancel a show and they decide it's not worth the effort, someone else can just produce it and put it somewhere
and they
else.
can't
Yeah,
cancel
exactly.
it too soon anymore.
exactly.
Yep. It's basically
it's interesting.
It's a la carte TV, and that's what the networks will. They'll never sell.
They don't want
and
that.
that's
They want you to pay the
that's
big
what's
bucks
gonna kill 'em.
for one show, and when you to
Yeah, you-
get the whole package that you don't
Yeah,
really
you pay
want.
$40 for
no,
one show.
yeah.
What
But
a
I'm
ripoff.
not.
A la carte is the future. It'll just take a long time to get there. The future
Okay, so-
is
Yeah.
walking
No,
up
if-
to your
if
device,
enough of
telling
us-
it what you want. It'll bring it to you.
So
No,
Netflix.
if enough of us stop paying, like I did, it will
cord
happen
cutters.
sooner.
Cord cutters, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
another alternative is on the iTunes. It's just a joke. Like you want to watch a show, like $2 for one episode. Like that's absolute joke. There's Netflix, $8 a month.
Yeah.
Well, but
You
there's
watch
also
100
Hulu
episodes.
that's
Yeah.
in Canada, but when it is here,
Yeah,
that's
well,
going to kill. It's
exactly.
going to kill. But even
Yeah.
Netflix in the U.S. versus Canada. I mean, Canada's a joke.
Yeah.
When you look at the content in the
Well, the
U.S.
content in the US is way
CRTC
better.
is protecting us.
It's getting
Well,
better,
for now.
a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's something to do.
Oh, you can block your IP. You can block
You
your IP.
can.
Yeah, you
For
can.
$4 a month, you can block your IP.
Okay, but I'm still not going to. I'm still a cord cutter. I'm still not going to subscribe to that. I have to wait a week, and I have to buy $100 worth of crap so that I can watch 3 programs.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
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 And a
what I found-
PVR doesn't do it for me anymore. Either.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. It's basically a la carte TV.
Oh,
It's
the
like
PVR
I want
is
to watch.
working for me.
I want to watch this show, and I'm on vacation, and I want to watch the whole season because this is the only time I'm going to have the chance to watch and enjoy the show. So I'm going to watch the show. I'm going to binge on it, and then I'm going to go back
yeah,
to
but
work.
you know, a really good show like Lost, or actually, you guys got me on Crazy TV Talk. You guys got me into Sherlock. I watched all those episodes. I mean, there was only 3, but they were long.
Yep.
But yeah, great show. But
Try
Netflix,
Suits. Awesome.
Netflix. His title is the CCO, the Chief Content Officer. He says they want to put out 5 original series per year.
Good.
Nice.
And his statement is that Netflix is trying to become HBO quicker than HBO can become Netflix.
exactly.
Yeah.
And because because HBO is actually doing this in Europe and other markets, they're not doing it they're experimenting with it outside of the US because the US is their cash cow. So
Well, the thing is, though, look, you look at HBO and Netflix and whatever, they're a distribution network, right? They have the distribution means. So if they create the content that they're going to distribute themselves, that gives them tremendous power. The cable networks are a distribution network that doesn't produce anything. They don't create content. They buy content. And the reason they've been buying content for so many years to be able to get it dirt cheap, packaged together, and basically rip off the consumer. So yeah, it's a flawed model, and it's not going to work in the future because we now have more bandwidth than they can compete with. Before, it's like, oh yeah, you should get cable because your internet, you're going to download a movie and it's going to take 4.5 hours to download, or it's going to be really jittery, or you're going to have problems, or the movie's going to crash. These days, that doesn't happen. We got awesome bandwidth. So the issue is, when can we get even more bandwidth? And that is going to make a big difference.
But that's the control.
that's
if,
the
they, if
problem.
they're moving away from the cable TV model or even the phone cable TV model, which I mean, phone to me at home is ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
As you move towards that internet model, all they'll do is they'll shift the cost from television cost to cable cost. So what'll happen is your internet will go up. That's how they'll make it work. So instead of spending $20 a month for the internet, you'll spend $100. No,
That's-
TV or
hey,
not.
Okay, that's-
You want TV, you don't want
hang on,
TV,
that's
we
a
don't care.
BS, that's a BS.
No, it's
number.
not.
Nobody spends 20 fucking bucks
Hey.
for what? We're
Well, whatever the
No,
number
no,
is.
I'm not saying
whatever
about
the number
swearing.
is.
I'm not
That's
saying
what they're going to do.
$75.
No, but
It's $75
Ian's
for
right.
internet.
Ian's right,
Not
and do you know why
20
Ian's
bucks.
right?
That's bullshit.
Bob, I
gonna
love
have
you.
to-
okay,
He's
hang on,
He's
hang
just
on.
making a blanket point. I love you, Bob. Don't play the man.
Hang on.
Make
Let
a
me-
Don't get so
blanket
upset,
point.
Bob. It's okay.
let me clarify Ian's point. Ian's saying that because of all the shift over
Yep.
to the internet, they're going to raise the price of the internet.
Of course.
The only reason why that's true is because the internet providers are also the cable providers.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they're the
are.
same
Yeah.
guys.
It's a scam.
And
what I was
that's
gonna
that's why that's going to happen.
Put up your own satellite.
Anyways,
Unless somebody comes along like Mobilis and he says, "Oh, well, we
Yep.
can give it you for $40 or $20," like
or Google
quoted.
or Google
And I say,
Fiber.
"Great,
Yep.
I'll take that." And fuck you, big guys.
Can we start
And that's what's
TV
gonna
listening?
happen.
Google Fiber. Okay, so
Oh, don't get
we're
me
going to move
started
on here.
Google Fiber.
I got some voicemail feedback.
All right, excellent.
Is it
Well,
Norm?
voicemail and email.
It's not Norm.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Hi, this is Anthony, just calling from Richmond. What it is I just ordered a Nexus 4, and I'm unsure whether or not I should refuse the delivery because of the new phones that came out in regards to BlackBerry. And I am quite interested in the Windows 8 phones as well, too. So I just wanted to know what do you guys think in comparison between the Android phones, like it's specifically the Nexus 4, compared to the new Z10 and the Lumia 920 more than anything. And if you want to throw in the iPhone 5 as well too, that'd be a pretty neat comparison for sure. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.
Wow, the 920. I had never even heard of the Lumia 920 till I looked it up, and it has the Microsoft software, doesn't it?
It's Windows 8. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
Looks
phone.
awesome. Looks really.
The only
awesome.
downside is apps.
It's Windows 8.
And it doesn't look like they're going to get very many apps. Oops.
Kind of point. Let it run Windows 8.
Developers aren't really that enthusiastic about it. I mean, too bad.
I think they're burning out with the options. I mean, if you're a developer, you got to do an iPhone app, and then you got to do an Android.
It might
app,
change now. It might change now that with Windows 8, and Windows 8 Pro and Windows RT having kind of the same kind of interface, maybe they'll start developing more. I don't know, but
who knows? Though they're paying millions of dollars to beg people to actually.
But mind you,
them, right?
all of the apps are still, all the major apps are still there. Like you don't need a million apps.
Nope.
To have a good ecosystem. But I mean, the thing is with iPhone and iPod Touch and iPad, you're pretty much guaranteed to get what you want if you're looking for an app.
Yeah.
And there's some very specialized apps. For instance, the one that I like for podcasting is Boss Jock Studio. They only make it for iOS, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. It's an awesome little app that allows you to produce a podcast with a cart system to play intros and outro music. You can play voicemail feedback, and you can mix it all at the same time simultaneously, just like you can with the big mixing board like we have here, and do everything and then publish it direct to Libsyn, and you're done.
How is that answering whether he should buy Android?
No,
he's getting into the phone.
It's very much answering it, because what I'm saying is that you can compare hardware. And then you have to actually add the ecosystem, and that's where iPhone is a winner because they've got the biggest ecosystem. Now Android, second biggest, has a ton of options as well, and there's almost no comparison between the two. They're almost exactly the same, except that iPhone gets the apps first, because if you're an app developer and you do an exclusive deal with iOS, they'll feature you in the App Store, but they won't feature you if you've also got an Android app. So you're incentivized to go with the biggest app marketplace, do it for a while, get featured, sell a whole bunch, and then do an Android app later.
Okay, so
when they're perfected and improved, Android gets them.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So it's an upgrade on both.
I really want to pause.
Well, what they actually
one at a time, please.
I gotta pause you guys for a sec. Valid reason. I think this guy is asking. He wants to know product wise. What should he buy as far as which thing should he buy?
Yeah, exactly. But part of the product is the app marketplace.
Okay. So Andrew's argument is get a phone that has the most apps because
no. I'm not my argument at all.
Well, that's what you just said.
No. I want to go through the pros and cons of each one.
I think
that
if
the
he's
Apple
got an Android phone on order, it's an awesome phone. If he's had an experience with Android, stick with what you've already got ordered. You're going to love it. I mean, there's a lot of great phones out in the marketplace now. We've got 3 awesome ones to choose from. It's kind of hard to go wrong, except maybe with Windows 8 phone. But
actually, Windows 8 isn't necessarily a bad phone.
He's counteracting.
I don't know, but of the top 3, it's like, if you've had experience with Android, you've got an awesome Android phone on order.
And this person actually,
I wouldn't cancel it.
This person actually already has an Nexus 7,
but he actually wants to get the phone, and isn't it?
And he's currently using a Windows 8 Nokia phone, not the 920, but the model down. He likes Windows 8.
How many phones does he have?
Just one, Windows 8. But he's got a window. He's got a Nexus 7 tablet.
Okay.
So he's got an Android tablet. He's got a Windows phone. but he can't decide because he's got the Android tablet, he's got the Windows phone.
Yeah.
He can't decide whether he wants to go all Android or one. And now that the BlackBerry came out and it's getting outstanding reviews, he is now considering going there.
Okay, so there's the answer right there. If he has got a Nexus 7, then I would highly recommend that he gets another Android device because it will basically, you can share all the apps.
Now I have to say one more thing. He also he's very gung ho on the Microsoft Surface, so he is thinking about picking that up in the next little while too.
And he already likes Microsoft, so why not just go all Microsoft?
Yeah, and then he could sell me the
Is it
7
ready?
for $100.
The thing is, I told him he can use all his Android apps on the Surface using BlueStacks anyways. So you don't have to abandon the marketplace.
Well,
Is
that's
the
kind of like
Surface
having a
ready?
Macintosh and having
the Surface is
PC
ready.
software on
Yeah.
it, right? What's the
So
point?
when did they fix it?
What are you talking about?
The Surface?
What was wrong with it to begin with?
Well, I thought it was the hardware. It wasn't Windows 8. It was the hardware that wasn't quite up to
Well,
snuff.
there's two Surfaces. There's the Surface RT, which is just the modern interface. It's like an iPad. It's not a full PC. It's not like it's like Mac versus iPad. It's just a tablet.
Okay, but you said Nexus 7, so I assume tablet.
No. He wants to buy the Surface Pro, which is Windows 8.
Okay.
Full
Which is
Windows
it's
8.
basically
Not
a
the
laptop.
not the
Not the tablet version of Windows. They shouldn't have even called it Windows. They should have come up with
So
a.
to get back to the question of what phone you should get, my advice out of anything else is buy a phone where you can get the most cost-effective service, because that's what really ticks me off. Is you go in there and you go to one of the big providers and say, "Oh, we'll give you this phone for $0."
Okay.
Okay, don't bash on the service providers, man.
No, I got to step in. I was talking to Bob about this show earlier this afternoon, and I had to call him back 4 times because he's on Mobilicity, and his phone kept dropping the call.
Ouch.
That's kind of hilarious because when Bob and I talk, my phone drops all the calls. Yeah. So it's hilarious.
Andrew's phone drops calls all the time.
But I thought they were most reliable network. There was someone advertising that.
I have to ask though, seriously, Bob, you've been pimping the new Nexus since we started Crazy TV Talk in
Pimping
September.
it.
Which
You
one?
never
Pimping is
stopped
right.
Pimping
7,
the Nexus.
the 7
it's
or
like
the
the
4?
Chromebook of phones.
I'm getting the 4.
No, the Nexus.
I'm so
I don't
excited
know,
to get
but
the 4.
No, but you pimped the Nexus to me. You've been like, you should get the Nexus when it comes out. You should get the new Nexus.
No, the Chromebook.
You pimped the Chromebook too, but I know for a fact you pimped the Nexus. And
So what's the matter
So
with
make up
that?
your mind.
This
He's
guy
getting
wants to know
royalties.
iPhone 5, Nexus, Windows,
Yeah,
whatever it is, Poo phone, or BlackBerry.
Poo,
What
yeah.
Poo phone? I'll take the Poo phone.
Are there things of the 4 that we can rule out? Like I would rule
No.
out BlackBerry, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
No,
I'd rule out
I
Windows.
wouldn't
No,
rule out
you
BlackBerry.
can't.
No, the Z10 is actually
awesome.
is really an exceptional phone.
You
Looks
could
like.
Exactly.
convince yourself any of them is the right
Yeah, but
decision.
let's get to recommending things to this guy. Like Ken, why do you think the new BlackBerry is a great idea?
There's so many things. I'm only reading it from online, so I haven't actually had it in my hand.
I have.
But there's the multitasking capability is an impressive thing. The way the graphic user interface is laid out is really nice. There's some really nice things. On some of the Google Plus app where you touch the upper left hand corner, it slides to the right, and there's a list of things.
It's called
There's,
called the BlackBerry Hub.
The hub, that's right. Yes, the hub, and a lot of the apps are sitting in there. The most used apps are sitting in there. There's a lot of little things that you can settings is very well laid out. Things that you can turn off and on into a lot of different places. Things that you only use occasionally.
Yeah.
So
and there's
the way they've laid it out is really nice.
Yeah, BlackBerry Balance is you can have separate profiles for work and personal use. So for when it's in work mode, you've got your work apps. When it's in personal mode, you can only see your personal.
I didn't
apps.
even notice that part, but I like that too.
No, it makes sense because that's what a BlackBerry is targeted.
When you're in any
Yes.
app, you can peek into the hub. So if you see you've got a message waiting indicator, you just slide you can look and see what the message is, and then decide if you want to stop watching your YouTube video or just let it go back. It's kind of cool. Time shift mode in StoryMaker, so you can actually take it. It'll take multiple pictures at the same time, kind of like the Samsung S3, but you can actually combine the different pictures to produce the best image of each individual person that's in the shot. It's kind of neat. And then BlackBerry Reminder, interests, ideas, and projects all in one location, and I think you can sync it with Dropbox
and some of the gestures. Some of the gestures as well. I mean, some of them are typical to all phones, but they have different ones for showing notifications and.
Yeah, and if you're in an app, you just put your finger below the screen, slide it up, and it actually will minimize the app into the multitasking panel, so you can see all the things that are running at the same time. And it's true multitasking. It's not like in and out like on an iPhone or an Android.
No.
So you actually, it's like the Playbook. The Playbook has had true multitasking, and the only reason why the Playbook didn't succeed is because BlackBerry made a huge mistake and it was a marketing mistake. It wasn't actually a hardware mistake. They said they wanted to sell more BlackBerries, so they said, well, it works better with the BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Well, then all the people that didn't have a BlackBerry all of a sudden said, well, I need a BlackBerry for it.
I don't need
that. But in reality, do you need an iPhone to use an iPad? No, it's the exact same thing. It's just that you could have all your data from if you use BlackBerry Bridge, you could have all your data from your iPhone mysteriously appear on your Playbook if you wanted to.
I'm gonna pause this for a sec because I have an interesting idea.
Okay.
Let's go around the table. Let's do a round table of what we may recommend to this guy, because he gave us 4 main options, right? What do we think as a panel?
Or what are we using
this
now?
guy should or that who's an Android? I'm an Android. Margaret, Bob, you're all Android, right?
Yep.
Bonnie.
Yep. To be kind of Android bias.
I'm Android and iOS, and
Ian,
I would take a BlackBerry if I could too.
Ian, what are you?
You'd have all 3, man.
No, I'd give up the Android for the BlackBerry.
Well, I travel all over the place, and I deal with.
But
a lot
only
of people
because
on
this
phones.
isn't an S3 or a Note 2, because those are the 2 phones that would.
I have to say, I've run into multiple people that have multiple phones. I actually one here in Vancouver, and she has 2 phones. So she has a BlackBerry and I think it's an iPhone and a BlackBerry. She had both.
Same number?
Different numbers. She just had 2 different
Really?
phones because she liked features on one and features on the other.
It's hilarious. That reminds me of
which is crazy to me.
That reminds me of the Samsung's commercial where they're targeting both BlackBerry and Apple at the same time.
Yeah.
And they walk in, the lady or someone walks in and it's a young like hipster company, and there's a couple older people in the company, and the older people have 2 phones, a BlackBerry and one of them has a BlackBerry, and the other one has a BlackBerry and an iPhone. And then this person walks in and she looks at the guy funny, and he says, "What?" And he goes, "It's for business." And then she says, "What? The suit?" And then and then this woman comes in and puts her 2 phones down, and the person says, "Well, when are you going to consolidate your phones?" And she goes, "This one's for work, this one's for personal,
For play."
And then she's like, "Well, the Samsung Galaxy S3 can do work and play at the same time." And then she's like, and goes into all the features, how it's secure and all this. And then the lady freaks out and says, "Don't mess with my system." So they're like, it's an awesome ad.
Well,
Totally
I mean, the way I look at it is there's lots of phones out in the market. There's lots of people trying to crack market share. I really think there's 2 camps, and that's probably, the Android and the iPhone camp. The rest of them are all wannabes, in my opinion. Even though I think BlackBerry is trying to get back in the game, I think they got an uphill battle.
Yeah, I think they have
I think they
have
don't
an
have
uphill
the money to
battle,
make
it's
it happen.
uphill.
I think they have a definite uphill battle, but they've come
You
out with
really got
something good
to work with.
But the good news is they didn't launch a Surface, so they had that other thing. That's a mistake in the past, so they can go into new mistakes now. So that's good.
The thing is with BlackBerry and everything, I hope that they do succeed. And then
So do I.
by succeed, I don't mean get to 85% market share like they used to have, because that's impossible.
Just be around.
Just maintain.
Yeah,
Give us some
even
content.
Apple has only 25% market share. So I mean, let's face it, we've got a
I don't like a
competitive
2-horse
marketplace.
race.
Okay,
3-horse
so-
race.
But
So-
there's
is
other
far
there's
more
other there's other players.
So-
Mozilla's coming out with
my
an
turn, my
OS.
turn.
But I thought Motorola was doing
So
something.
before Andrew
Motorola is owned by
totally
Google.
Before Andrew totally jumped all over everybody and took over the conversation, could we get back to what Marcel
He's an
requested
expert.
Wow.
and said?
Yeah, go, Marcel.
Could we actually do what Marcel asked 5 minutes ago before he got overtalked?
Thank
Yeah,
you,
go-
Bob.
go, Marcel.
Again?
First, though, Ian, I got to know, man, what do you use?
Well, I currently use an iPhone, but that doesn't
Alright.
mean anything.
Yeah, it does
necessarily.
mean something because he's 100% Apple.
Yeah, but
What
that
would-
doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. That's just my personal
No, I know.
preference.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
think-
there's lots of good phones out there. I've owned phones from all kinds of manufacturers in my life. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I
Marcel.
think this guy got a delightfully juicy answer from all of us. But what would we recommend? Like, what do people think? Like Android.
So what
would
do you recommend?
What do I
what
recommend?
would you recommend, Marcel?
I'm too damn stupid. I'd recommend the Nexus. I like my Android phone.
Yeah.
Or I'd recommend the iPhone 5 because I think iPhones are awesome, and I made this guy buy an iPhone.
Oh, you poor guy.
And literally made him. So yeah. What
Literally
else?
made them. Okay.
Yeah, well, but why did you make it? Because he's not techie,
Well,
and it's
yes.
like a grandpa
Well,
phone. or-
here's my take on the iPhone as someone who barely knows how a computer works and all that.
This is someone who used to sell them, so it's like he's
Well,
it's
I-
pretending to not to know.
No. I never knew when I was selling them. I feel like the iPhone is intuitive, where people, if
Yeah.
they don't know what they're doing, they can figure out what they're doing when they're looking at an iPhone. I sold an iPhone to my dad. and
It's
he
only because it
loves
hasn't changed
his
in 15
iPhone,
years.
and he barely knows how technology works.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
It's a comfort
intuitive.
zone. It's a comfort
for
phone, yeah.
people that don't know what they're doing. For people that don't know what they're doing, and
somebody.
Harsh.
But
Harsh.
everyone I've sold the iPhone on, they love. But you know, I just want to know, as like actual tech geeks, what would you guys recommend? I
Okay,
don't know what I'm talking
so
about.
Depends
I'm-
what you're doing with it.
I'm gonna say that Ian's exactly right. It depends on what you're doing with it,
yeah,
but it
absolutely.
also depends on what. It's not just the OS; it's the hardware, how it feels. You're going to use it for a while, so pick something that's comfortable. Make sure that it's got the apps that you want to use. If you don't need some kind of weird specialized app, it doesn't really matter because all the major apps are going to be on all the platforms, even on Windows. So.
But Andrew, gut based on what you know of this guy, what he's told you, and what he.
Well, I know
what
a
you
little bit
think
more
he
than everybody
wants.
else, so I would say.
But what would you recommend?
I'm gonna
Dream phone. Dream phone.
I'm going to recommend the Nexus 4 for him.
Wow, really?
Interesting.
Yeah, he's already ordered it, and he's already gotten it. He's
I vote
he's
he
got
goes
a
with the
Nexus.
Nexus 4.
He's
Okay,
got the
everybody
Nexus
gets a
7,
turn.
but close second would be the BlackBerry because I know this guy's a tech guy. He's going to get the Surface. He's good. He's kind of like me. He'd like to play with everything. So I think that the BlackBerry 10, the Z10 would be an option too.
Well, I'm also thinking Windows for this guy because he's already on one Windows device and he likes it. So you want to look at those comparisons. I'd look at all three.
He's
phones, see what
currently
he likes.
using a Windows Lumia phone.
Yeah, so
Nokia Lumia.
I understand, but he says he likes Windows and he's going to get a Surface. So, I mean, I think BlackBerry is interesting, but I think Windows makes sense for him as well because at least that way it's the same system. I mean, Leslie wants to learn the new system. Maybe he needs more than one phone.
Actually, the BlackBerry Z10, the BlackBerry BB10 OS seems very, very simple to learn. It's easy. I would say it's even easier than Android. But I mean, sorry, iOS. But what I would like to say about iOS is that they are now officially, as of this week, the oldest smartphone platform in existence because the only one that was older was BlackBerry, the old system, and now that they've moved to the new system, iOS is now the oldest smartphone thing. Now,
Yeah, but they're showing it.
no, but the thing is, they've got the market for that. They've definitely got they've got the baby boomers.
For those
They've
people that
got
just want to
the,
dial out and listen to a phone call, I think it's great.
They've got Gen X, but the millennials and the younger kids, I'm telling you, from what I'm hearing on Twit, from what I'm hearing on other tech podcasts, from my own experience with the employee purchase plan from where I work, the kids aren't buying iPhones even though they're the same price or less.
No.
They're getting Windows phones. They're getting Android phones. The young kids are looking at iPhones as grandpa's phone.
That's right. That's what their mom and
And
dad's
now Apple's challenge is to be relevant to the really young kids. And I'm sure they'll be able to do it. They're going to come up with something.
Here's
Well,
the-
they have
try
the
and
money.
change
That's
the
all you got to
look.
worry about.
Here's the funny thing, like Byron and I are like we're so far away from the tech scene. You guys are like the kids aren't buying iPhones. Both of us made faces. We're like, what are you talking about? The kids are buying iPhones.
Both my brother's kids own them.
We know the kids more than we know tech.
And they're
just
18
saying.
to 20, so.
They're what?
Both my brother's kids own them, and they're 18 to 20.
No. I'm talking young kids.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
talking
12
about
or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
well,
young
12.
kids. The young kids
Okay,
are choosing.
Maybe the kids aren't buying
Yeah.
iPhones.
No, they're not.
No,
I mean, their parents aren't buying them.
They don't know
because
what
they're not
they're
buying them.
No, but they're giving them the option. What do you want?
Understand.
As long as it's not too expensive. The iPhone 4S is free or $79.
Maybe just the iPhone.
But they're getting phones around $100 that are equivalent cost or less than the iPhone, or more. Sorry, more.
Yeah, but
than
you
the
and I
iPhone.
both know this market changes very quickly.
It does.
So 3-6 months in this market
It does,
could change
and
it
all they have to do
dramatically.
is they have to
I know.
tie their marketing
I'm
to
just going to
McDonald's
interrupt
or
the Andrew
Ronald
show
McDonald or
here
something.
and give somebody else a chance to talk.
Yeah, who else wants to
Yeah,
make
we're
a phone
supposed to be
recommendation?
doing a
Fucking
survey
minutes.
of all of us.
I think
And
they-
No, it's been the Andrew.
yeah, so
They're
let's
not-
hear
He's
from the
the
rest
expert,
of us.
so
Yeah,
I think the interesting
well,
thing
I
is
don't
going
like
to
that
be
style.
is going to be the war between Google and Samsung. Because
Really?
Google's putting out their own phones. I mean, Samsung's going to be.
Samsung has embraced Tizen.
yeah.
Well, they're also embracing Windows 8.
Well, not really.
Well, they're going to put one out.
They have one out. They have the Samsung Ativ, but they're not really pushing it. They're pushing Android, and they've now got their. I think the reason why they're not pushing it is because of Nokia's relationship with Windows.
Probably.
They've got a really strong relationship with Nokia. So
So, Randall, what's your recommendation for the guy?
Yeah. To get back
iPhone.
to the topic.
iPhone,
Okay.
Okay.
Bonnie?
yeah. iPhone, why? Why though? Knowing
because, well, I mean, I guess for me, it's easy to use. I know it.
no, but that's for you. But for
even-
him, we're
but
talking
even
about
for him. I mean, you know, I mean,
He's already on Android. He's already ordered
but he's
Android.
not on Android because he's got a
he
Windows
on
phone
Nokia?
now.
No, but he's got a Nexus
he has,
7
but he
tablet.
has an Android tablet, so he's familiar with the Android platform, and he has then he has the Windows Phone. Why should he switch to yet another
Well,
operating
I mean,
system?
if he's got then he might as well keep the Nexus 4. I mean,
Yeah, if you
Okay.
okay.
to anything.
But that was
Okay,
the point
Bonnie.
you made
Piece of
15
shit.
minutes ago.
anything except iOS 5 because I think it's irrelevant. It's Apple's an entertainment company, not a technology company, and I see it running into the end of innovation.
$54 billion in revenue. Just so you
I don't care.
It's well, actually,
No, they're definitely. I would disagree. I think
we're
they're
all
definitely.
entitled to our opinion.
They're definitely of course we are.
if we get
30
a chance
years
to
as a
actually say it.
sysadmin, that's all.
I think that they're definitely a technology company, without a doubt.
Okay,
and they're going to
so-
come out with
You don't have to say
they're
that.
going to come
Okay.
out with a new TV product that's going to blow everybody
Okay,
away.
so
I'm
Andrew,
sure.
I think we've
And
kind
then
of
some.
beat this topic to death. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
The guy probably fell asleep listening to our recommendation.
Yeah, it
has
was
no
way too
idea
much
what
on
we're
There is
saying.
no
Some
answer.
stuff-
There is no answer.
There's
I
no right
honestly
answer. It's
think-
personal preference.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's next?
I honestly think that guy's
The
probably
end
really
of the
psyched.
show.
Oh, well.
Oh, we're done.
Goodbye.
We're in overtime, actually.
We're way over.
Yeah, really. We're way over.
All right. Thanks for listening to another episode of The Bunker Show. Call 1-877-636-1474 to get into the show. Just like Norm and Anthony. And we'll see you again next week.
Still have a meeting.